Riot podcast time, day 2, back from the fundraiser.
We are back from our fall fundraiser, still trying to raise a few percentages of support this week. So if you haven't had a chance and you're interested in helping continue this podcast, if you check out RadioU.com, you can find out how to support that way.
Okay.
In the podcast today,
you're going to hear about the Batman podcast, a podcast about a podcast.
Oh, my goodness.
You're going to hear about Christmas lights, vintage 90s shirts, and apparently the big money that's involved.
There's money. And then later, I don't know if you're putting it in the podcast, but we talk about just normal shirts, which are the shirts that look like the vintage shirts that designers just redesigned to look like them.
There's something there.
So
right?
You never know if you're buying an actual vintage or just a new one.
Well, that's the thing. There are people out there that know whether or not it's vintage.
It's the job.
Like, they would come out and look at it and be like, oh, this is just a cheap knockoff. It's trash.
Not real.
Yeah. Well, okay. You know what I got? Nothing.
Nothing else?
Nothing. Actually, you know what? Nikki and I are halfway through making the podcast. We had to do the intro a little bit early. So you guys enjoyed the back half, which will be all surprises.
It'll be all surprises for you guys. Tomorrow we have Kids joining us. It's a new band that's on RadioU. And we'll be doing an after show on our Facebook page tomorrow morning. So if you don't follow us at RadioU Riot on our Facebook page, you should, so you can watch us just host extra stuff there.
Wouldn't you want to?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry for the yawn. I've had almost a whole pot of coffee, and
Really? Oh, you're still tired? Oh.
That's got to be
We'll
chemical.
take a nap, okay?
Something's wrong with my body.
No,
It's
It's getting back from the fundraiser. It does a mess on us, and it takes a while to get back into a schedule.
It's the jet lag.
It is. So have a great day. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on Radio U.
There's a lot going on in our world, Nikki, so you may find yourself wanting to escape into his. I'm talking about Batman.
Oh no, there's a Batman podcast?
Yeah, there's a Batman podcast coming.
Oh, what's that going to be?
Oh.
Well, I mean, what is it going to be? Just an audio show or a radio drama?
You know, you make it sound not great.
Not great.
When did
I? I'm so sorry. Is that how that came out?
It came out.
Oh, uninterested?
I'm going to say disinterested.
Oh, that is not what I meant.
You meant completely uninterested. I don't want it.
You know what? My apologies.
Okay. All right.
I'm excited to hear about it. What do we get? Yay! Do you actually get Batman in the Batman podcast?
No, it's a podcast about Batman's great-great-grandfather who was an explorer. No. This is going to be written by David Goyer, who wrote Batman Begins and the other 2 Batman movies, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises. So he's got some street cred when it comes to the Batman. Swear to this podcast.
So is it just a drama that's sent out through podcast? Or?
Yes, it will be. It'll be exclusive to Spotify, and it's going to be called Batman Unburied, that explores the darker aspects of Bruce Wayne, like every other Batman project. You know, it'd be really interesting if they were like, we got a Batman podcast coming, and it's going to explore the lighter side of being Batman.
It's just going to be fun.
How cool it is to have a car like that. You know, how fun it can be to fly the plane around.
You know, like a fun summer read, but a summer Batman.
Like... That's never happening.
Well, I mean, that's not his character, is it? Has he ever been more relaxed and more enjoyable?
You know, Nikki, are all of us just the trauma that we experience? Sometimes in the middle of experiencing trauma, don't we have a good laugh or a good...
I want to see him just when he's not on. You know, he's not Batman.
Right?
It's just a person.
Yeah, because, I mean, as far as I can tell, all he ever does is the job.
His work?
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I'm my job... In a lot of ways, I spend time at the radio station. I've got other things I do, but sometimes I just flop. You know?
A lazy weekend.
Just put my feet up.
That sort of thing. Now, Zach said, so like the 60s Batman?
Well, I don't think that's the answer either. I'd like to see
in between.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I will tell you that this podcast is coming next year, Batman Unburied. It's being developed by Goyer's own production company.
Yeah.
And I loved... There was a Wolverine podcast that they did. It was spectacular.
So they have any details on like how many episodes? Who's going to voice it?
Nope. I have none of that. I just have that it's happening.
Next year?
It's happening next year, and I might be up for it. Like, I could see it. If it's as good as the Wolverine podcast was, and the Wolverine podcast was excellent.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll have something new to listen to next year.
I actually like radio dramas. And so having something like this.
Not drama on the radio, but a radio drama.
You know, a dramatized play on the radio.
Where they're reading out the comic book to you.
We've got an archive of everything stupid the Riot has ever said at your fingertips. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
You know, maybe what you really should be doing is going home and checking your closet, your uncle's closet. I don't know how old you are or how old they are, but I know this. I'm reading an article here on Vice. I don't know how much you can trust it, but they say that 90s nostalgia is where the big money is starting to come from in the collector's markets.
So what should we be looking for?
Well, according to this, and this is kind of their leaping off point, apparently, let's see, Corbin Smith, he is a vintage T-shirt collector. He just managed to sell one of his Aladdin T-shirts. Now, keep in mind, this is a vintage Aladdin T-shirt.
As in like Disney Aladdin, or was there an old band?
Disney's Aladdin from the 90s featuring the genie, et cetera, et cetera.
What do you get for it?
$8,000.
Oh, really?
No, $6,000. Sorry.
Really? That's still just fine.
He paid $500 for it.
Oh, wow. Why do you pay that much? Well, I guess because you can get $5,000 for it.
He made $5,500 on that.
That's a whole world we wouldn't know what we're looking for.
What? Vintage 90s shirts. Yeah, but what do you have? Like, what does your mom have? What does whoever have? It seems like it's time to start digging through closets. You're not looking for comic books anymore.
Well,
You're not looking for copies of the Constitution.
Yeah, we used to hear about like, really old things that they would find like in the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess I always thought, at least in the realm of our age and world, that most of our stuff would have been thrown away already.
Well, see, that's what makes a lot of that stuff.
So if you can still find it, it's worth a lot of money.
So that means that the 90s were, if you think the early 90s, almost 30 years ago. So that stuff is becoming harder to find. And they say that the vintage collectors market usually starts at about the 20-year mark. And they say that's because, so let's say that in 1992, you were 12 years old. Once you hit 32, you have enough money and kind of disposable income. Even if you don't have a lot, you've got a little bit that you could probably spend on something from your childhood that is fun.
So something nostalgic, you're willing to pay the money for it.
20 years, they say, is what the mark is for that. So
interesting.
Nikki, go back 20 years.
And find what I can find.
And that's what you're ready to sell. Because Nikki and I are not sentimental. We want the money.
Oh, yeah, you can have whatever. But I do feel like you need to go to like your mom's house or an aunt or something who would probably still have the stuff around.
Yeah, it's right. I mean, you probably didn't move with it.
Yeah.
But it's in a box somewhere,
You don't have room for it at your place, but your mom sure does. And she probably kept it somewhere, and you can sell it all.
It's true.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on RadioU.
You know, something else that I was thinking about. Do you know what I saw last night? I saw for the very first time what I think might have been Christmas lights.
What do you mean? Okay. Oh, outside?
Did you look at my Instagram?
I have not yet.
So if you take a peek, I was driving through
RadioU.
I was driving through a neighborhood last night.
Yeah.
And I did that creepy thing where I stopped my car and leaned out and took a picture of somebody's house.
Oh, of their house?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't do that.
Why?
Well, because it's makes them wonder.
Public property.
People are going to think this is your house.
It's not. It's not. But
so it's orange and then white lights.
So do you think those are Halloween lights?
No, because look at the pumpkins. Well, it's supposed to match the pumpkins. See how the pumpkin's orange and then there's like a white pumpkin?
I didn't even see the pumpkin.
Yeah, right in front of it. So it looks like they're just trying to match the pumpkins.
So then what?
This is Halloween.
Halloween lights?
Yeah, it's Halloween lights, but they're like, yeah, grab a strand of the Christmas ones.
Okay, well, yes.
It's fine.
Don't
Is
worry.
it dying?
Don't worry about it. Thank you so much for giving and supporting Radio U last week. Our equipment is fine.
No, it's no need to worry.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's a nice Halloween light decoration thing.
And that's a thing?
Yeah,
Halloween
absolutely.
lights?
Oh my gosh. I don't know why, but in my neighborhood, everybody put up these big graveyard things. So it's a thing.
There's somebody that has an inflatable giant spider down
Yeah.
the street. I saw that.
And like the spider web things that go up to like the top of the door that are all lit up.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff.
So that's a thing.
People have a lot more time to not go out and do things. So I think they're just like, yeah, let's decorate.
All right. Well, this took me by surprise because I have not seen or been in a place where there's been lights. And so when I drove past, I was like, wait, what?
Did you think that they wrapped the Christmas lights and then that way they don't have to rewrap again, or
Maybe.
it's just killing two birds with one stone?
2 holidays with one strand?
Exactly.
Sure.
But the rest are orange, so like you'd have to change those out.
Well, what if you, no, it's probably a thing for, rich people where you could just control the color.
Yeah.
Think about how amazing that would be. You just put up lights
Yeah.
and the colors just change based on the season.
That's a perfect idea.
I kind of like that.
Are there actually lights like that?
They've got to be out there.
Outdoor ones?
Not at the stores we're shopping at, but they're out there.
I'm sure there's somewhere.
Online specialty retailers.
Well, there's Halloween lights out. There's a lot.
It's nice. It's nice. I guess. Yeah. So, hey, listen, and just a heads up, if you see somebody slow driving through your neighborhood, hanging out the window, taking pictures, might be me.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. Radio U. Radio U.
Nikki, how excited are you right now about The Lion King? How many times have you watched the CGI live-action remake of The Lion King on Disney+?
I never watched the animated one growing up, and I never watched the CGI one. So I was never into The Lion King.
You know what? Can we get a different co-host in here?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Someone that's going to read the script.
This is where we find out
Someone
The
that's
Lion
going to read
King?
the script.
No.
All right?
No, I don't want
The
to.
answer was several hundred.
Several hundred? That's what Disney wants
what's
the
on
response?
the paper right in front of me here. That was kind of divisive. I talked to some people that loved it and a lot of people that didn't.
Now
and probably just depending on your friend group or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I will say I saw the Jungle Book CGI one. That one was amazing.
I didn't see that one.
That's super good.
No one's going to like me for this, I suppose, but I haven't watched any of the Disney live action remakes.
None of them?
Well, nope, that's not true. I watched Aladdin.
Oh, there.
I ended up seeing Aladdin, and Aladdin,
That
which I
wasn't
thought
bad.
looked terrible, was actually pretty good.
The trailers for it were the worst thing ever, but the movie was actually not that bad.
Yeah, so there's that.
And then there was the Mulan one. I mean, no one still wants to talk about that yet.
If anyone in this room has no room to discuss the Mulan remake,
Just wasn't very good.
you paid $30.
I did pay $30 for it, and it was awful.
$30.
Yeah, I did. I just wanted a new movie.
I know. See what happens?
We've had a long quarantine.
Wait, can we go back to yesterday's show when somebody, we're not going to mention any names, bought a collection of films, 3 of them for $20.
You bought Expendables 1, 2, and 3, and I just said I wanted to watch a new movie. You bought the 4K of those movies.
So they're newish to me.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, can we get back to the news?
Yeah, what about Lion King?
They're doing a sequel to the live action CGI Lion King thing.
Oh, I guess it probably made enough money.
They're like, woo.
And they can work on that now. So that's actually part of the reason.
That is exactly what I thought.
They don't need a human cast.
You don't need any actors for that, so sure.
Yeah, why not?
Why not go ahead? What do you put in the sequel?
Well, what was Lion King 2? They had an animated sequel.
Well, they said it's not going to be that.
That's what they always say.
They do always say that because they're also working on Aladdin too.
Oh, they are?
Yeah,
I
which
didn't know
will
that.
also not be the Return of Jafar, the straight to VHS sequel. So they said, no, we're doing something else.
I don't know what they would make it then because I didn't see the first one, so I'm not sure the storyline.
I looked at a list last night. Now, I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but it was a list of all of the live-action remakes that Disney currently has in production.
Is it everything?
It's everything.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It is essentially every animated film they've ever made they are in the process of making a live action version
and
of
then I'm sure give it a few years and they'll go back around and they'll start animating it again.
Oh, for sure.
This is what they'll just keep doing.
Yeah. Well, Nikki, it's the circle of life.
Ah, yes, it is.
And it...
I don't even remember
That's all I
it.
got.
Circle of life.
Yeah. But it's what it is.
Great to hear. The Lion King news. So they'll be doing a second of the Lion King CGI graphic one.
Should I go ahead and put you down for $30?
Oh, gosh.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
Nikki, let's talk about our, Disney overlords.
Oh, is this the sad news?
This is the sad Disney story. The Disney parks are struggling.
So the California one's still not open.
It's not open.
But the Orlando one is. And I'm not sure about the rest of the ones around the world, but
Couldn't answer that.
we at least know Orlando is.
But I know that Disney just announced that they are laying off 28,000 people
from
in
the
the United
parks?
States.
Oh, that's a lot of people.
Yes. They say that 2/3 of the people they're laying off are part-time.
Yeah.
But that other 1/3 is a mixture of management, executives, et cetera, et cetera.
They just have to scale back. There's just not enough people in the park to have the same amount of employees that they used to have.
They put out a press release that is kind of shaking its finger at, the state of California, basically saying,
Blaming
hey,
them.
we have asked repeatedly to be able to reopen our park. They will not let us do it. As a result, we're going to have to do something. And so they are going to be laying off 28,000 people.
Aww.
It's so many people. So they say that over the next 3 days, they'll begin having one-on-one meetings with people.
Oh, so the people don't know yet? Oh, they just,
don't know.
oh, that's the worst then.
So they're waiting.
You have a heads up that something might be coming, but you don't want it to be you.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be anybody, but you really don't want it to be you.
They don't know what's going to happen there. But
that's a shame.
They do think a lot of that is just going to come from California. But
well, I mean, you can only keep people on for so long if it's not open.
yeah. And when will they get to open?
It's there are some other things that are open that are shocking compared to what Disney could do safety wise that they've shown, in Orlando. So I don't know. It's divided. Let's just say that.
Disney's big enough that they have to obey the law.
Yeah.
It'll really get noticed if they don't. Whereas there are a lot of other places
that have found a workaround or no one's noticed yet, and it's a shame.
There's we're having political protests at Disney. It's $100 to get in to the protest.
That's why it's especially hard with COVID. You have one state that'll do one thing, you have another state that'll do another. It's kind of hard when you're just sitting here, especially if you're not in either state and you're just watching. You're just like, well, what's the difference? Why?
Yeah, why does it go this way? Don't know.
That's just how it is.
Don't know what it's like to live in Anaheim. I haven't even visited. I've never been to Disneyland.
Never been to Anaheim?
No.
It's much smaller, but it is nice.
I've been to Disney World many times.
Listen, it's the same price. It's the same miserable day, but you go there because it's Disney and it's Disney miserable. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you really know how to sell it.
Well, last time I went, it was 101, and I just remember going why are we doing this? What are we doing?
Yep.
Why?
Yep. What's his name? The comedian. He said that it was like visiting. What did he say? He went to Orlando in July, which was like waiting in line on the sun.
Oh, really? Well, it's a lot, and you just
Jim
wait.
Gaffigan.
Yeah, that's all you do is just wait.
Stand around.
And then you go on a ride for maybe a minute, and then you go back to waiting.
Disney's rides aren't very good.
What?
I said it sure is nice weather.
It is. Great day today, isn't it?
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So, Nikki, in the middle of all of this theme park upset, there's bad news from Disney, but Universal has a little announcement for you.
Universal Studios?
Yeah, they're building a new roller coaster.
They are.
Yeah, the Velocicoaster.
So would that be for Jurassic
World.
Jurassic World?
Because aren't they making Jurassic World 14 right now?
Yeah, the other one. Like, what happens when the dinosaurs are out? That one.
Wait, isn't that what they all are?
No, this is the one where they
like,
really
really
get
out.
out. Yeah, they're now out and everywhere.
And I know that this is going to be an unpopular take. Part of it will be. Jurassic World, I didn't like the first time I saw it, and I really liked it the second time. And since then, having watched it a couple times, I'm like, you know what? This is actually, it's all right. I'm in. Jurassic World 2 is terrible.
Terrible.
That is
and you've watched it again?
Yes.
Okay.
It's so bad.
Well, it was kind of bad because it just didn't do much. It was just setting up the third one, which is a lot of the problems we have with second movies.
Yeah, okay, but this is what brings me to this third movie idea. In reality, how many dinosaurs escape? 10, 12?
But these were like supercharged ones.
So what? So
you're saying that now, but if you were there, you'd be saying something different.
If all of a sudden there was a T-Rex out in the parking lot, yes, we have a problem. Okay, but it's a short-term problem.
Sure.
Because I'm telling you that in general, we have what it takes to take care of a few rogue T-Rexes.
I'm more worried about the little ones.
Is no one going to die? No. People will die. But this idea that America will be a dinosaur-eating wasteland because 12... No.
Compared to Godzilla or something that has more mythical powers.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Okay.
It's not. Back to this roller coaster. It's
not going to happen.
They're saying that not only are they building the Jurassic Park Velocicoaster, but that it is absolutely going to be open next year.
Sure.
That's
the
part.
It is.
That's the part that I find the least likely. I mean, if you told me the dinosaurs were coming, that seems unlikely. But
possible.
This theme park being open with a new roller coaster next year, now we're just lying.
Now we're not going to have that.
Come on.
Did it say what type of roller coaster? Is it for all ages, or it'll be
Well, okay, let me give you some...
a bigger roller coaster?
It'll have two different launches. It will reach speeds of 70 miles per hour in 2.4 seconds.
Oh, I can do that on the road. No.
It will include a 360-degree barrel roll.
We can also do that on the road.
And they say a first-of-its-kind zero-gravity inverted stall that will have riders upside down for 100 feet of the ride.
That could be fun.
Coaster will also have a top hat, sending guests 155 feet into the air before they make an 80-degree plunge.
Honestly, I need to see pictures. It's hard to get it from the description.
I have drawings.
Oh, okay, that'll work.
Would you like to see some drawings?
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. So that'll be for Universal. Is it for both of them, or just... Is that Orlando also?
That's got to be. This one they're just saying is Orlando. They're not even open in California. So
well, true. They can't work on it then.
Yeah, but nope. They're saying Orlando next year. I had a good time at Universal a couple years ago when I went.
Are we still getting the Mario thing?
No, remember they had to delay that.
Okay, because it's in Japan, but not here.
Mario's social distancing right now.
The Mario Kingdom, that would be fun. And then you have the Jurassic one.
Sure.
It sounds like fun, doesn't it?
Go.
When the higher you sound, the higher pitch your voice is, the more excited you are to go.
It's going to be a good time.
Yay!
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on RadioU.
It's a big deal, Nikki. I'm talking about what's happening in Lehigh. Happened over the weekend, and apparently...
Something's still going on?
The aftermath is still with us.
What happened?
I'm talking about the Utah Giant Pumpkin Growers Group that got together.
Oh, no.
Smashing records.
For pumpkin growing, we see that every year, and it's there's this whole world of steroids and, illegal growth hormones.
They sing to them and massage them and crazy stuff.
How do they get these pumpkins so big legally?
Well, the first place pumpkin came in at 1,825 pounds.
That's massive.
It was the largest pumpkin to be grown outside of a greenhouse in the state of Utah. And it was the largest pumpkin to be grown outside of a greenhouse and the second largest pumpkin ever to be grown in Utah. They also say that they set a record this year because they had 8 pumpkins over 1,000 pounds, which for this gathering
was a lot.
Was a real record.
Good for them.
So everybody got together and had some, oh my gosh. They're having a second event in 2 weeks at Hee Haw Farms.
I guess.
That's going to be in Pleasant Grove, Utah.
Boy, it all sounds
October
something,
10th.
Doesn't it? Hee Haw Farms in Pleasant Grove.
Hee Haw Farms.
Spooky.
Spooky?
Well, to me, it just feels a little off, doesn't it?
Sure. No, I don't have any problem with that.
Okay, you got to understand.
That seems about right.
Seems a bit too much.
Mm-hmm. So, yep, that's where they are. Big Pumpkin paid for all of that.
What happens then? Like, do they just destroy it? Do they make a pumpkin? Like, you can't eat those pumpkins, I don't think.
No, you can't.
It's just too much.
You actually, certain varieties of pumpkin really are for eating.
Others are just for growing.
Not so much. Yeah. So.
Oh, you have to kill it then.
Well, you don't have to kill it. Just eventually it dies on its own.
It's true. And then
probably splits open and
more
dies.
pumpkins grow from it, and that's the circle of the pumpkin life.
It's the circle of pumpkins.
See our early Lion King story.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So, Nikki, how's your palm doing?
My what? My
Your
palm of
palm.
my hand?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's not sweaty?
No. I mean, it was itchy during the fall fundraiser because I clapped a lot. It's so exciting. But outside of that.
But it's not.
No, it's good.
You feel like it's still functional?
Yeah.
Still recognizable as your palm?
Yeah. Still good.
All right. Well, that's good because Amazon's working on a palm strategy.
Are they going to make a palm print thing or?
A palm recognition system.
For what?
That would be, you could go to, right now they're testing this in 2 stores in Seattle, but it's called Amazon One. And you would go in and put your palm print down, and that would be tied to your credit card. And then, boom, that's how you pay.
And you could pay?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, too, maybe like, their locker system.
Yeah.
What if you could put your handprint on there and it opened up the locker if your item was in there?
Seems like an interesting idea.
So if you're out shopping and you want to buy something at one of the Amazon stores, because they have stores that are like the top items at Amazon, all the bestsellers. They have stores that are full of the bestseller stuff. So maybe at one of those.
Is that what an Amazon Go is?
Maybe. Or is that the grocery store thing?
I'm not entirely sure.
I think
it might be like their
it's a chain of convenience stores. Yeah, that's more of the grocery convenience store that you can just walk out of.
I wonder how their soda is. You think they got a soda, like a fountain machine there?
Have you been to Whole Foods, which, of course, Amazon owns? Have you seen the soda there?
No.
It's not the same.
Like, it's sugar cane. It's real.
Yeah, and we want the real stuff, so we want the real bad. And it's not going to be like in a styrofoam cup, and it's not big enough.
Yeah, okay. You know what? You're right.
So I don't know if that's going to be what you're wanting.
Are they even allowed to sell soda in Seattle?
Probably, but again, maybe not what we are thinking of soda.
They're just like, yeah, it's real. This is what soda actually tasted like when it was invented 300 years ago.
We don't want that.
No, I want give me the fake stuff.
Well, that's interesting. So you'd be using your palm print to check out of things at a store.
Yeah. Now, are you afraid someone's going to steal your palm print?
I've already had my identity stolen twice. So at this point.
So you're just like, whatever.
If it's
are you more or less scared?
Less scared because I have everything pretty locked up pretty tight right now. But... it is what it is. Someone can do it anyways. Some
Russian hacker stole my Ubisoft account. And, the funny thing was when I went back to it, it wasn't so bad because they played the Division so much that when I took it back over, there was so much money, like in-game currency in my account. I was like, I can do whatever I want now.
That's good, but when it comes to your identity, usually financially, it's
That's
more
not the way
of
it works.
Yeah, like my person didn't pay some things. It was criminal activity.
They don't steal your identity and then deposit a bunch of money?
No, they don't. At least I haven't had that happen.
All right.
But I'm always up for something if it's more convenient. I usually prefer that. So, your palm print.
Palm print. They're working on it. So, dude, then if you want to buy something, you just cut off somebody's hand.
And we've taken it too far.
Is that too much?
That's not how it's probably going to be. Just put your own palm out, and you're going to have to pay for it yourself.
I know, but I'm going to find some rich dead guy's hand, and he hasn't shut off his account yet.
Oh, it's worse.
And so then I just take it.
Did you get his hand?
Look, man, just take his hand.
And then you put it in the in your...
Shut up. It's in your sleeve. So you're just like...
No one will notice.
Flop it around.
Sneak it in.
Hey, thanks for coming to Amazon, sir. Can I get
my hand.
Fist bump? No, I don't fist bump. Shake hands? No. High five?
No, I'm just here to buy something, I got the palm. That's fine.
Don't worry. I have problems with this hand.
It's awful. It's bad.
That's not funny, guys.
It's not.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
What's going on over there?
My bag keeps falling over.
Which bag is it?
My work bag. So, like, all my stuff's falling out.
Show me your bag.
It's on the floor.
Oh!
It literally keeps falling off the chair.
So, wait, that's a bag? It's not a purse?
No, I have my purse also. I think my purse is pushing my work bag. I have a work bag and a purse.
Okay.
Because I carry around a laptop. That's what we use.
Mm-hmm.
And
so what about a purse that has room for a laptop?
then you're always having to carry around your laptop, but there's times when you just want to carry your purse.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't want to have to always have that. It's a heavy laptop.
It is?
Yeah, my laptop's heavy.
Oh, you have a MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
See, that's privilege brings pain.
Certain responsibility.
You know what, Nikki? So all those back problems you're having.
It's because it's a Pro.
It's because you got the Pro instead of the Air. See, I just have the Air.
It's light enough.
Oh, I mean, I lost 15 pounds.
Oh, really?
And I'll just tell you, like, you know, the pain I used to have in my knees and my lower back. It's It's all gone now. And that's all because I switched out to a lighter laptop.
Well, my back fell, and it's completely right on the top. Like, it fell over, and it's right on the... I leave the top part open.
So you have to be careful when you pick it up?
No, yeah, it's just completely right on the top of it. So it's exciting. It's the second time it's fallen today.
Man. You know
Who's in here?
It's the ghost of my old purse.
What is this?
Here. It's the ghost of my old Mac. It's here tipping the new Mac over.
It should be fine. I don't know why it keeps falling over.
So I recently had a discussion with someone, and I'm kind of amazed by just the entire, like, the industry of purses and bags for women. Because, like, you know, as a guy, I have a backpack, which I've been mocked for. Nikki's dad mocks me for carrying a backpack around.
But it is practical, and that's a nice one. You got that at Costco, and that's a good bag.
I've had it for 3 years now, I think.
Those things last, and they don't go out of style.
Yeah, I mean, because they were never in style.
Exactly. It's more functional.
So it's fine. And I was thinking about how, you know, like, I paid $30, I think, for that bag, and I've had it all this time. But as I was talking to a friend of mine, she was like, I got to get a new purse. And I was like, hey, just let me in that process for a minute.
Yeah.
Let me be a part of that. And so she was showing me why her current purse was no good. And in fairness, it was ripping, it was tearing, it was all this stuff. And she wanted a new one. And like the one she was looking at was $100, which to me, I was just like, what?
Oh, no, they go more than
I know. I learned that too.
They go graphics card big.
I know.
Same price as your graphics card, the big one. The big graphics card.
It's amazing.
I know. But for those, you want to sell them ahead of time, too. Like before that, you can't use them too much. You want to sell it. It's this whole thing.
It's this whole world.
Yeah. It's like your phone. You want to not abuse it too much, sell it when you can, get some money out of it, and buy again.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I have learned is that there is sometimes this illusion that the stuff that men want is like a waste of money or whatever. But women have managed to take what they want and make it appear practical.
Well, because we have to carry stuff in it. That is practical.
Nikki, do you know the kind of heavy lifting that my graphics card has to do?
Oh, whatever. Not every day. Does it carry your keys?
As a matter of fact.
It doesn't carry your keys.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Every time you see a video, my graphics card rendered it.
I worked on that.
That's right.
Hey, I can respect both. I understand the graphics card world and the bag world, so it's fine.
Do you need a new bag?
No, I think I'm good. Well, except for the one that just fell down again. Structure-wise, I feel like something's off on it. It's not standing up on its own.
We should go into business together.
Why?
Because the discussion you just had, like, I like my bag, but I just don't feel like the structure is good enough.
It needs sometimes it loses the structure when you toss it around, which is why I also have a crack in my laptop case cover, so.
But it's fine.
Everything's good. It hasn't broken through, so we're good.
You're listening to the worst of the riot. Radio U.
Okay. You know what today is?
Today's a day?
Well, that is accurate.
Well, I mean, like,
I'm not going to call it descriptive.
You know, like yesterday was National Coffee Day, or like, is today a theme day, or is it just a Wednesday?
Well, here's where I'm at. It's Wednesday, September 30th.
Yeah.
You know what that means? Tomorrow is Thursday, October 1st.
We're out of September.
We're out of September.
And we're into fall.
I would have liked to have known it, but it was a candle in the wind.
I feel like August and September went by really fast.
Yes, I'm trying to slow things down. But that being said, Nikki, I had a deal that I struck with myself about October 1st.
What was it?
I got to start light therapy tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it is. Tis the season.
Sucks.
Tis the season for the light therapy box. When it starts to get dark out and stuff, that's when you need to start doing it.
So bright.
So tomorrow's the day?
In your face.
We got to move everything over there then. You won't have room.
I'll figure something out.
We need we have our shelf way back there, but we need to bring the shelf out and we got a lot of food
putting our food on it.
Yeah, we got a lot of food fight items and
Riot pantry.
Someone moved our pantry shelf back way in the back.
Yeah.
And I think they were embarrassed of our shelf.
You know what? Let them be embarrassed.
But we have a lot of stuff.
I'm embarrassed of them.
You won't have room to put your light therapy box.
I know. I'm going to have to get it out.
We doing 30 minutes, or what are we going to do each day?
Probably start at 20, 15 or 20.
15, 20 minutes.
You build up to it a little bit.
I get the spillage, so it's fine. I get the overflow light.
Let me tell you what. Okay, people talk about being depressed like it's this, fun thing and it's cute and you write it on your notebook and, you get T-shirts and you get a little mug and whatever. Man, that kind of crap is for people that get it's a rainy day and you feel down.
You get gloomy.
I'm talking about the existential BS of actual real something's wrong with my brain depression. So I'm on meds and it gets worse in the winter. So now I got to shine this stupid light in my face. I'm talking about you, light.
Do you hear the passion that comes with it?
About you.
So you sit in front of this light therapy box, and that's supposed to help, mimic sunshine.
And you know what?
It does help.
It helps.
And you have to do that through the winter time.
So I sit in here in this little dark room with a bright light in my face, waiting for them to come in and start the questioning. That's what it feels like.
You're sitting here anyways. It'd be harder if you had to make yourself sit down another time to do it. At least
I couldn't.
You're already here.
I don't think I could. On the weekends, I get up and basically do this, but I'm alone. So I sit in a room with coffee and a bright light in my face and a book.
Yeah.
Usually a book, but that's about it.
Well, tomorrow starts the day.
Yay.
You need a reminder? Or
no,
you're good? You remember?
I've thought about it every day for the last 3 days. October 1st is coming. And we said that's when we were going to start with the light.
Right. Well, tomorrow is it.
Yeah, it's fine. Just the fact that I hate it so much probably means I should really start doing it.
Yeah, I think that does.
You feel like that's a sign.
The anger.
I just don't like, what?
The anger towards it is a sign.
I don't like depression. I would like to trade it in. Does anybody know?
But at least you have something that helps you.
I know.
It'd be way worse if it didn't help.
I know.
Let's think positively on that, okay?
Nikki.
The light's fully on, not half on.
Okay.
It's a full help. Right. It's a good help.
Get it right in your eyes.
The Riot Radio U.
We're going to waste some money here. We're going to get Nikki to buy Nikki today. We're going to do my birthday lunch, and then we're in that festive mood. We're going to swing over to Best Buy, and she's going to buy a Nintendo Switch Lite.
Listen, this comes up it's cyclical. It comes up every couple of months.
I know. And do you know how we break the cycle?
I thought I had been by saying no, but I just really want to treat myself. I just really want something nice, and I just want a yellow or a teal Switch.
It's perfect.
That's all I want. We saw this little
little controllers.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute and they're so tiny. Because with the Switch Lite, the controllers don't come off it. Right. It just stays like that, and it's so cute. And then that made me remember how much I wanted one of those.
You should totally buy it.
I know I should, but it's still a lot of money.
Together.
And I have one. I don't need a Switch. I have a big Switch.
I can't even believe we're having this conversation.
I know,
don't need.
but I could sell it, but then I'm too tired to sell anything right now. I don't want to deal with it.
Listen, I put it up for sale, and I'll play the part of someone who
Will you manage the sale?
Oh, no, I was just going to offer to trade you some things for it.
No, I don't want that. I would want an easy sale, but I also don't.
You accept trades?
I know that the Lite has less battery power and stuff. I do know it is it's
a lighter version.
It is a lighter version, so I don't know if I want that totally.
You should get it. I just want to see you spend money. I want to watch you spend money.
Great. Is that going to stop you from spending your own money?
No, actually, I wanted to hit everybody up. And if you get a minute and you've got an answer, you should text me 877-2-RADIO-U. I was thinking about buying some new T-shirts. And you know what, Nikki? I think some of the artists have departed.
Oh, from the ones we like?
For a while, we did Design by Humans. For almost like a couple of rounds of shirts, we did that. Then
we loved it, but then the quality got a little wishy-washy for the T-shirts.
I jumped over to T-Fury.
Yeah.
And T-Fury has been hit or miss. Some of their T-shirts have been, like, I'm still wearing them years after I bought them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them...
Well, I think with Design by Humans as well, it was a case where in the beginning when you would order a shirt, it was actually printed right then and there.
Yes.
It was a higher quality experience. And then now for a lot of the places, they run the shirts, they're printed already.
Right.
They're not on as good of material.
Well, then what I need somebody that has had a recent experience with a good T-shirt website. And
we don't want to go to a store. We don't need anything fancy.
Just not, I mean, the
we
art
just need
needs
a graphic art shirt.
It needs to be clever.
Yeah.
That's actually the hook is it clever? And I'm on T-Fury right now looking through some of their stuff. And I'm just like, man.
Not as clever as it used to be?
No. Like, I think the art that I'm looking at, I'm like, this is kind of lame. And
see, Trevor said, have you tried Redbubble?
No. What's that? Let's Google. Redbubble.
Redbubble. Yum.
Awesome products created by independent artists. Okay. I'll get a look at that. I do.
Obi likes Godzilla or some sort of character from a show. I like bears on the graphic design tees.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find anything else like that, let us know.
Okay. I'll take a look at this Redbubble thing. Sounds interesting. If anybody's got anything else, you know what to do. Text us, 8772-RADIO-U.
This looks just like Designed by Humans. It looks good.
Yeah. I'll go through that. And
now, Gannon says all the shirts from Walmart. We could try a store.
The shirts aren't good. Okay, this sounds snotty, but they're not good enough. I feel like every time I go in there and buy a shirt, I'm going to wash it one time, and then it's going to be a napkin.
You mean it's going to shrink?
Maybe.
Okay, you're not supposed to dry it. You're not supposed to wash it. Why are you washing it? Just let it go.
You just
let it go.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe she's not wrong.
Well, I know that, again, some of the sites we've been using, the quality of the shirt fluctuates too much to where you just don't know. It's not worth the price they're selling it for.
Totally true.
Worst of the riot. Radio U.
I've just got some absolutely spectacular news. Oh, man. Are you guys ready?
Let's gather closer.
They finished filming Avatar 2.
Oh.
And Avatar 3 is...
It's a tiny hand clap. Can you hear it?
Avatar 3 is 95% finished.
They did them back to back, right? Or just all at the same time?
Oh, yeah. And didn't they... But they did like...
There's 4 and 5 somewhere, too. I thought they were doing all of them.
No, they are. So, like, that means it's in the mix.
No, what do you say? It's in the...
Pipeline?
Hopper. It's in the hopper.
Okay. Right now, they have release dates. You ready?
For 2 and 3?
Avatar 2, December 16th, 2022.
That was pushed a year from COVID.
Right. And remember how much it's all digital. Like, I mean, obviously they built things, but like there's so much effects work to be done in those movies. So you got that. Avatar 3, December 20th, 2024. And then we're going to see Avatar 4 and 5, 2026.
I don't know if we'll be alive. I don't know.
I mean, I hope I am.
I know, but that's such a long time. Like, the first one feels not even in our life. Like, it feels like before our life.
Oh, I think Avatar came out before I was born.
But it's so long ago.
The thing that kills me is that Avatar kind of sucked, guys.
But it made a lot of money.
Why?
Because
3D.
Is that it?
Do you guys remember Avatar? Okay, everybody sit down and let me tell you a story of the old days. Avatar was shot with this new 3D tech that James Cameron was an enormous fan of. And so it became, and everybody thought as TVs were getting larger, people don't go to the movies anymore. 3D will save us. Mm-hmm. And so the idea was there for years. All of these movies came out in 3D, except there was a problem. They were having 3D showings and regular showings, and people stopped paying the premium to go to the 3D viewings of movies.
Because they would still go to just the regular one.
People didn't like 3D that much. Avatar was like a one-off. It was very cool looking, but it didn't really, the fad did not continue.
Sure, after it.
Right. And so I think, and I could be wrong, Obadiah the analyst doesn't make a lot of money, so maybe he's just stupid. But I think when Avatar 2 comes out, I think a lot of people are going to go, wait, why did we like the first one? Oh, it was the 3D.
But maybe it's been so long they won't remember it. So you
Maybe
don't remember
not.
how bad it is, and you're going in like it's a new movie.
Maybe you might be right.
Well, I feel like they need to do a showing of the first one just to bring everybody up to speed since it's been so long. I mean, you still have 2 years
Yeah.
till it comes out.
Well, you can get the Blu-ray and watch it.
It just seems like it's off, like it's not the right time.
A lot of people are referring to it as Fern Gully 2, which is
the old animated
not
one?
everybody's going to get that, but it's a very fair comparison.
So they were saying, though, that Avatar 2 is done. It's done filming. And then 3 is 95% done filming.
I'm sure I'll end up going to see it. James Cameron's an amazing filmmaker.
But it won't be a 3D showing, right? It'll just be normal then.
I don't know.
Because they don't do 3D.
Yeah, they do.
Where? Who?
Some theaters will still do 3D movies.
Well, like there's not movies in there to do it.
Well, right, but they have the capability.
Oh, sure, I guess.
Which means they could charge you more.
That's true.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, I didn't do it intentionally, but I think that earlier this year, I may have built a space heater.
A space heater?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I think my computer has turned into a space heater.
Is it not cool enough, or?
Well, the thing is that I've spent, 1, too much time on Reddit, and 2...
Get off of that. At least get away from these forums.
So it came down to this. I upgraded the processor, and I think it runs hotter than the one I had. I've got a Ryzen 3900X. I had an Intel blah, blah, blah. I don't know what. I changed out my RAM. Basically, at this point, I think it's basically a brand new computer, except for the case. It's a different case. But everything inside has been swapped out. I even moved up to an 850-watt power supply.
But all that means it's just so hot?
It's insane.
Maybe if you get a new case, like an open one.
Well, but the thing is, if you do that, all you're doing is better dispersing the heat.
Yeah, that's true. Then it's just going into your room. Yeah, but you're going into, it's fall and you're going into winter.
I know. Well, I actually told one of my roommates that yesterday. They were like, it's kind of cold in here. I was like,
turn on the computer.
I'll just move my computer in here and it'll be hot. You'll be fine.
But then you could at least be on your computer and it's fine.
No big deal.
Well, what can you add to it?
Nothing.
You can't add something else to cool it down?
Because the idea is, remember that the heat, it's going to generate the heat no matter what.
Yeah.
The best I could do is move the heat outside of the box. But outside of the box is the room that I'm in.
But can't you get a better fan or something?
Yeah, but remember, it's just going to move the heat
the same amount of heat.
It's dispersing the heat. It's the same amount of energy.
Okay, now, I'm not into computers, but is there like a window unit for your computers, like an AC unit?
Like maybe I would get some kind of a filter and it would push the air outside.
Something like, you know how there's an AC window unit that you attach? Like maybe there's a Computer World one of it.
Well, this could, quite frankly, obviously it's not going to cool my house, but it could absolutely heat it.
Is it just too powerful?
Maybe that's it.
What, you can't have the new graphics card then, can you?
Yes, I can.
Well, then it's even harder.
Watch me.
The whole thing burns down.
It's fine.
Like you don't want it to.
Whatever.
Well, I don't know what to tell you then. I don't know enough about it to make it colder.
I don't know what to do about it either, but I just know that we had Monday off, right? Went downstairs, turned on the computer, playing. I thought, it's kind of warm in here. I go upstairs and I'm like, good Lord, it's freezing.
It was just your computer.
And it was just that I was sitting next to this space heater for hours.
Well, maybe think of it like medical, like it's a sauna or something in that area.
Ooh, is it a write-off?
Maybe.
Could it be a write-off? Okay, all right. I'm just telling you, I think that I build a heater.
And that doesn't damage the stuff in it, or could it ever?
Well, it can, which is why you want it to be properly cooled. But remember, properly cooled means that it's pumping the heat out into your room.
Well, just lower the temperature in your house then and, shut off the vents to everywhere else in your house, but just push it down to where your computer is.
Yeah, so I should figure out how to cycle. Man, there we go. They need to figure out a way to cycle the air in the house through the computer so that it would just continue to
then it goes right on out.
Yeah.
Well, I think you'll appreciate it this winter if it gets cold and you don't need to pay for heating.
Yeah, won't that be nice?
But in the spring and summer, you're going to be miserable.
Man, it's cold. Could you play a video game for us?
Yes, that's what you want.
I mean, like what? It's like back in the day they had to chop wood and stuff. I just got to play a game.
That's all, and he's willing to do it, guys.
Bring the heat.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
You just must endure the itchies.